It's Listen In with KNN, the sports sound of the district. Today, we welcome one of the greatest grapplers in the squared circle. After taking home the freestyle wrestling gold medal at the 1996 Summer Olympics, he went on to become one of the premier superstars in the WWE. He was inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame in 2016 for his amateur accomplishments, and into the WWE Hall of Fame a year later. Some of his best moments include
220 pounds for the gold medal. Kurt Angle of the United States in the red singlet. They can't decide. There it is!
And it's going to be Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle of the United States!
Yes, it is Kurt Angle. He joins this live stream broadcast of Listen In with KNN right now with your host, Kelsey Nicole Nelson. It's Listen In with KNN, the sports sound of the district. We bring you the biggest guests, great analysis, and the hottest sports stories in the nation's capital and beyond. And we bring it to you live. Welcome to this live stream broadcast of Listen In with KNN. Here's your host, Kelsey Nicole Nelson.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live stream edition of Listen In with KNN, your favorite sports talk radio show and podcast presented right here on our home, Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, broadcasting out of course, our beautiful nation's capital of Washington, D.C. Thank you all so much who just joined me for the last broadcast with none other than Mayor Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. WWE's Kane. He was phenomenal and great. And now I'm bringing you guys a doubleheader. It's Kelsey's Thursday Night Smackdown, I guess you can call it, because now I'm very excited to welcome in none other than Kurt Angle, of course, an Olympic gold medalist, WWE Hall of Famer. He is a man that can go by many titles, just doing so many great things. And now he will join me on this very show for the first time. So without further ado, please help me welcome none other than Kurt Angle to the show. Kurt, how are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on, Kelsey.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. And Kurt, before I get things started, I always like to do a wellness check with my guests. How are you feeling? How are you doing? How are you coping with COVID-19 and everything else happening in the country right now?
Well, the good news is I haven't spent this much time with my family. And the past 4 months has been really good for me because as a father, I have a better connection with my kids.
Which is
unfortunately,
awesome.
It does suck because, they're not in school and they've been home, and the homeschooling was really hard, especially when you have 4 kids. I have 6 total.
Oh my gosh.
All 6 are with me now, but 2 of them don't live with me. They come visit, but the other 4, the homeschooling, and we adopted a Bulgarian child, and that was
nice.
Really
I'm sure.
We were working at all pistons. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How is Kurt the teacher? Do we get any insight into that?
Well, you know what? I was a pretty good student, so
there we go.
I helped out a lot with the math. I'm very good at math.
Nice.
Not very good. I'm very good at spelling, but not good at I guess writing stories.
Yeah.
never a book reader. I was more of a, I was more into math and, algebra and geometry. So that intrigued me more. And, that's what I did in college. I studied education, mathematics. Yeah.
That's so awesome. So all the kids are going to be stellar at math. Of course, we know they're going to follow after their dad. And I wish I had you in college. I know. That's so awesome. And also, I know you've been keeping really busy with Physically Fit Nutrition, right? I see tomorrow you'll be doing Instagram Live. So for those that don't know yet your involvement or what it is, just give us all the details.
Sure. I started a company a few years ago. It was called Barn Dad. It's now Physically Fit Nutrition. We have an incredible product that we're launching tomorrow. I'm having a Q&A on my Physically Fit Nutrition Instagram.
Yep.
And we're going to launch our product tomorrow. It's called Physically Fit Nutrition Chicken Snacks and Smart Snacks Plant Protein. So we're a supplement company. We specialize in proteins, fibers, and this product is a home run for us. We have 11 different flavors. They're savory and sweet flavors. They're really good. Kids love them. They're high in protein, low carb, very healthy. So we're launching that tomorrow. We signed a deal with Amazon. We're getting moving with them. And
congratulations!
So it's gonna be a very big product. We're excited about it.
I love it. And you said kids love it. Did your kids get to be taste testers? Did you use them at all?
Yes. They didn't like the buffalo blue cheese because it was too spicy, but they love the cinnamon swirl. So they actually make cereal out of it. They put it in milk and
I love that.
Tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So it's pretty good. The kids
I have to try it because look, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That is my favorite cereal. So I will have to get my order in. That is so awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. And also just while we're on that, I mean, talk about just the inspiration for this. I mean, did you ever see yourself, becoming now this business owner of Physically Fit Nutrition in your life? And, how do you kind of hope it expands?
Well, I've had the company in total 12 years, and we're doing good, then we weren't. We're doing good, we weren't. But the problem was I wasn't there. I was always on the road.
You're busy, yeah.
Yes, so I wasn't really overseeing anything. The guys here, they do a great job. And now's the time. I turned down an offer for the WWE job. They offered me 3 different jobs.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had to be home for this.
Yeah.
I need to make this work before I can worry about anything else.
I love that. And then you talked about what you turned down, but I know first and foremost, we have that brand new 5-year deal, right? With WWE as a producer.
I did. I got furloughed. So I got
man.
And then they called me back to be a talent on TV where I would manage a wrestler named Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
And I turned it down because of this job, and they offered me another job to do some coaching at NXT.
Yeah.
And I turned that down.
Oh my gosh, you just turned it down, Kurt.
You know what? WWE's been great to me, so I can't complain about that. But I got to do what's best for my family right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. And you're talking about your family, and I know this story was in the news, but most recently your son Joseph was heroically saved, right, by Jake Schmidt at Lake Erie, one of the 5 Great Lakes, after he had almost drowned, which I'm so sorry to hear about. But if you don't mind, can you just share more about just that nerve-wracking situation and just your initial reactions, at the time, if you can take us through that moment?
Sure. Well, my son was swimming in the Lake Erie, and there were rocks about 100 yards out. And my nephew and my son were there, and they were challenging each other to see if they could swim out to the rocks. And they tried the first time. They made it halfway, and the current was too heavy.
Man.
So then later on, they tried, and they were almost there, and one of them turned around, but my son kept going. And he swam so hard that when he got to the rock, he couldn't swim anymore. So he was stuck out there.
Oh.
And then the lifeguard came and the sheriff came and said,
"This
kid's not allowed to be on the rocks."
Oh my God!
He's sitting on the rocks, and there was no way for him to get back. He couldn't swim. I can't swim.
Me either.
I didn't know what we were gonna do. And the lifeguard, thank God, he went out and grabbed him and brought him back. And thank God he was safe.
I'm so glad he's safe.
He's a teenage boy, and they do crazy stuff. So, we grounded him for one day and told him, you can't do stuff like that. He's still learning English, so he's learning what America is about and what he can do and can't do. It's a learning process. He's been with us for about 9 months.
Nice. I'm sure, when school starts, he'll have a great story to tell.
Yes, you will.
To say the least, right? So awesome. Well, thank you for touching on that. I'm glad it ended in a happy situation. And then just going on, let's talk WWE. As a well and richly deserved inductee in both the WWE Hall of Fame and Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, let's give me your top 3 classic matches in your amazing just Hall of Fame career, and then give us why.
You know what? That's hard. It's hard to pick 3. I'm not that I'm bragging that I had all these great matches.
You can give me 10 or however many you want.
I actually did have a lot of great matches. I was really consistent, and that was probably the biggest strength. Was every night I performed, I did. I went above and beyond, and all the other superstars do too. But I had more of the best matches. Night after night.
Yes.
And I would have to say my top 3, probably Undertaker, No Way Out, 2006, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 21, and I had probably my best match of my whole entire career against a man named Chris Benoit, and that was in the Royal Rumble 2003.
Yeah.
Chris obviously has some bad stuff happened with him and his family, so it doesn't get a lot of notoriety because of what occurred with him and his family after the murder and everything. And
right.
So a lot of people don't know about that match because they don't really talk much about it.
Right. It's kind of more on the hush. But I appreciate you dwelling on them. Like I said, if I say 3, you can give me 10, 20, however many you want. Like there's no limit on this show. So just know that. And then continuing on, just, with regard to just your legacy, the megastar of Fast and Furious 9 and WWE superstar John Cena, he once said, he, who of course is you, is without question the most gifted and all-around performer we have ever had step into the ring. There will never be another like him. So with that being said, can you just talk about John Cena's success in Hollywood and what it means for the WWE in terms of just his great continuity in Hollywood, especially in the Hollywood box office, and his success?
Well, John is he's the poster boy. That kid came in 2002 and he stayed consistently. I've never seen a superstar go 17 straight years on top. That is so difficult to do, let alone I did it I was on top for probably 4.5, 5 years.
Right.
And I had a lot of injuries and I had I had a painkiller problem and I had to quit for a while. And it was just, John was just, I would have to say he go down in history as the greatest superstar of all time. I don't know anybody that's been able to do what he did consistently in the WWE only. That's the only place he's been. He's never left and came back. He's always been there. So he's done so well, and he has stayed out of trouble, and he's got his head together, and that led him to going to Hollywood and having success and going outside of wrestling. And I think that John is a perfect example of what you can do to be successful. Any kid, when you talk about John, he wasn't the greatest athlete. He worked so hard to master his craft that he became one of the best workers in the business. So that's a lot of volumes for John Cena. He looks great, and he didn't age. Guy looks great. Yeah. So you can't go wrong having John Cena as your top guy, and I think Vince McMahon did the right thing.
That's so awesome. And just talking about Hollywood and success after wrestling. I mean, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, of course, another one. Dave Bautista. I mean, just talk about them and how they've been able to kind of transform, right, for life after WWE.
Well, Dwayne just went above and beyond anybody else capable of doing. I was so proud of him. He's another guy that, did everything the right way, stayed out of trouble, stayed away from drugs and alcohol, did everything right. And, look where he is. And, he just continues to push forward. He doesn't stop. He's a machine. He just success after success. And, now he's getting in the tequila business and they're selling off the shelves. He has Under Armour under his belt. He's selling off the shelves there. He's just a great commodity. He's probably right now he got to be the top celebrity in the world. Everybody knows who he is. Yeah. And Dave's come a long way too. He's done had a lot of success in movies. He was a great wrestler. You talk about a guy that came from nowhere and made something out of himself. He's another great example of somebody that had dreams as a kid and never gave up.
I love that. Dreams as a kid and never gave up. And that's, of course, the message that we're always hoping to share. And then keeping on Hollywood, you star in the brand new film Chasing Molly, which of course is now available on Amazon. So can you touch on your character in Chasing Molly, and of course what we as an audience can expect from this great movie?
Well, I've done probably about 15 movies, and I think
your experience.
Yeah, I did a few big ones: Warrior, Pain and Gain, Dylan Dog. I will continue to do it. I have a couple more projects coming up due to coronavirus. Obviously, nothing's happening right now. But,
of course, right?
What were we talking about? I lost my train of thought.
Your movie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chasing Molly.
Chasing Molly. Ironically, I'm a drug kingpin. How about that? I'm
nice.
I'm a drug kingpin in the movie.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
I never swore so much in my life, though. I probably said the F-bomb at least 15 times. It's a really funny movie. Shelley Peck did an incredible job. She casted the right people, and it was a lot of fun to do.
That is so awesome. It sounds like you had fun, and I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
we're all going to have to watch that. All right, if you don't mind, I want to switch over to sports a little bit with regards to being a highly decorated two-time NCAA Division I national champion. Can you talk about your profuse admiration of amateur wrestling and indeed the many memories which evoke your mind when you recollect your particular period of your fascinating career?
My particular experience with what?
Just if you can just touch on just being a highly decorated two-time NCAA Division I national champion. I'm giving you time to gloat and just talk about that experience.
You know what? I'll start from the beginning.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm the youngest of 6 kids. We were all athletes. Sports was really important. So my brothers were all wrestlers. My sister was a cheerleader. Back then, they didn't have a lot of sports for women, but she was very athletic. And my brother wanted me to wrestle. I didn't want to, and I stayed away from it until middle school, and I was a very good baseball and football player.
Yeah.
And I decided to wrestle in middle school, and I broke my arm, so I didn't wrestle my 7th grade year. But I started in 8th grade. I had a really good year, and I went to high school, and things just started to come easily for me. Everything I did, I just was improving, and the secret was I wrestled all year long. I wrestled in the summer, fall, winter, spring, and I never took an off season. And the improvements I made over those next few years, by my senior year, I won the state title and I won the national title in high school.
Yeah.
And because I only won 1 state title, I wasn't recruited heavily. So I had some local colleges that wanted me, like Pitt and Clarion University, and I decided to go to a small school, Clarion, and I went up there, and they gave me everything I needed to be a champion. They hired a former Olympic gold medalist to come in to coach me, and his name was Lou Bannock. He won the Olympics in '84, and I started having a lot of success early on. My first year, I beat the NCAA runner-up. I beat a former Olympian. I was only 19 years old.
Wow.
And I was already knocking on the door of the Olympics. So, I won the nationals my sophomore year. I took second my junior year. I had a knee injury that year. Then I won my senior year, and I moved on to Olympic level. And, it took me a couple of years to get the hang of it there. And, 95, I won the World Championships, and then in '96, I won the Olympics. And I won every title you could win in amateur wrestling, so I retired.
That's a good way to put it, right? Yeah, that's so awesome. Once you got it, once you did it all. Exactly. Smart man. Smart man.
You know what? The problem was I got really depressed because I wasn't done being an athlete, and I took a job as a sportscaster, and I was utterly horrible. But I worked there for a year, and I decided I can't do this anymore. I'm not done being an athlete. What else can I do? And there was WWE. I started watching it, and I got hooked on it. My favorite characters were The Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Who knew that, a year later, I was going to have programs with them? I didn't know that.
Right.
So I didn't know I was going to pick up that quickly. So, I picked up the business in about 8 months before I started on TV, and I was off and running. Within 10 months on TV, I was world champion. So it was fast. Right. And those guys helped me a lot. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, guys like that. You know, when you're in the ring, you don't know this, but there's always somebody in there that's leading the match. They're telling you what to do, telling you where to go.
Right.
I was the follower when I started because I didn't really know what I was doing.
Right.
And so Undertaker and Austin and Rock, they would lead me through the matches. Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, they led me through the matches until I learned enough where I could start leading. So I became a great follower, and that entailed me becoming a great leader. And I started calling my own matches. So it worked out really well. And I had a lot of success in WWE. I was a 6-time world champion in 6 years. And then because of a painkiller problem, I quit. And I went to a smaller company for about 11 years, TNA. And they gave me a better schedule where I wasn't on the road 300 days a year.
Ooh,
I was only on the road 60 to 80 days. It was a lot easier. I could handle it more. So I went there and I won 6 more world titles, and then I came back to WWE and I retired. So
accomplished.
I had a great career. I do think that my TNA years were better, unfortunately. Only because, the WWE universe didn't get to see those matches. But
I know.
Eventually they'll probably see them on YouTube, or I'm sure WWE will eventually buy the TNA library someday.
Yeah, that's exciting. And really quick, I'm going to go back to your college career, because right now we're talking about college sports, Kurt. We don't know if we're going to have them, or yet alone even high school sports. So what are your thoughts on just COVID-19 and how it's affecting the sport landscape? I mean, do you want sports back? Do you think we can do it in a safe way? Do you want no fans? Just give me your overall thoughts and perceptions.
That's really hard. I don't know. I mean, I'm nervous about kids going back to school, but I know I want them to go back. But I don't want to jump the gun. If the surge continues, I don't think I will. But if things start calming down, I think I will. And I think that if we're smart about how we do it, we should be okay. But, it's a tough question. I mean, I'm on both sides. I understand both aspects of it. We want our kids to be healthy and not get sick, but we also want them to be healthy and go to school and learn and be part of the social community that we need every day. My kids are going crazy at home, and now they're so used to being at home, they don't want to go outside. And it's like, you guys got to get out of the house.
Exercise, get out, run.
So it's tough, but I'm hoping they do go back to school, and I'm hoping that sports come back sooner than later. But I do understand if they don't.
Of course, right. We're all just trying to get through this together, but it's weird, right? We're so used to sports, so I appreciate you touching on that. And then I also want to go back to your Olympic memories. Just in 2006, USA Wrestling officially named you as the greatest shoot wrestler in history, and additionally in the top 15 college wrestlers of all time. But can you talked about winning the 1996 Atlanta Olympics, but if you could touch on winning it against the Iranian, in the intense training regimen, which led up to the Olympics in Atlanta, because most of us, Kurt, will never get to hoist that gold medal.
Well, listen, I first of all, I do want to say that I, going to the Olympics and having that dream come true, it was something that I didn't know I was capable of doing. You're always a kid, you have dreams. It was a dream, but I didn't know it was possible. So, but I didn't think about the Olympics when I was 8 years old or 10 years old. Mm-hmm. I thought about the sport I was doing at that particular time. I wanted to be the best at that time. And I knew that if I continued to do that, every year I would improve and I would get better. And maybe someday I'd be good enough to go to the Olympics. I didn't think as a kid, I'm going to be in the Olympics and I'm going to work hard and I'm going to do everything I can to do it. I just said, today I'm going to have a great workout. I'm going to get ready for my match on Saturday. And when I win that match, I know I improved. And so I took it one step at a time. I wasn't looking too far ahead. I never look too far ahead. If anything, I'm probably more conservative about looking ahead. I worry about what's in front of me at the moment.
Right. And I think that's a good way to be, right? I think that's a good way to be.
The Olympics, I wrestled 5 times. The crazy thing is, at the U.S. Open that year, I broke my neck. And I had to, didn't know it was broken. I broke it in the semifinals, and I still had the finals to wrestle in.
Wow.
And when I wrestled in the finals, I was in excruciating pain. I couldn't do anything. And I didn't even know how I won the match. I wrestled a 2-time Olympian named Kerry McCoy. and we tied 0-0, and I think he had one more stalling call than I did, so I won the match. It was kind of a crappy way to win, but it was the only thing I could do.
Yeah.
So I went to a couple of doctors, and they wouldn't clear me to wrestle. I was done. I didn't know what I was going to do. And back in 1996, you know, you got if you had your own doctor that would clear you, you didn't have to have the USA Wrestling doctor. Or if you're in WWE, the WWE doctor to clear you. You just need your own doctor to clear you. So I found a doctor. He X-rayed my neck, and I had 4 broken vertebrae. I had two discs sticking directly in my spinal cord. So I was having a lot of pain from that. And he decided to give me this healing agent, and I wasn't allowed to take a steroid because of drug testing in Olympics. So he gave me a healing agent, and what he decided to do was he would stick me in the neck 12 different times with Novocaine. And 5 minutes before I'd wrestle.
Wow.
I did that in the Olympic trials and in the Olympics. Before my matches, I would numb my neck, and then I'd go out there and wrestle. An hour later, I'd be in excruciating pain again.
Wow.
But it worked. God, it worked. Yeah. And, you know, people ask me, were you chancing paralysis? Yeah, I was. But, you know, I worked for that my whole life, and there was no guarantee I was going to make the team in another 4 years.
Right.
So I knew now was the time, and I had to do it.
Right.
So I did what I had to do, and I won the world team trial, the Olympic team trials, and then I ended up winning the Olympics. And everything worked out in my favor. I was very grateful.
Yeah, I appreciate you dwelling on that experience. If you don't mind, I want to take a quick question from the fans. Kurt, if the UFC was popular following the 96 Olympics, would you have picked the Octagon over pro wrestling?
I would have definitely. I did get contacted by UFC after the Olympics. Didn't like the deal they gave me. Back then, they weren't very big. They were a smaller company. They offered me a 10-fight deal for $150,000. You know, to get your butt kicked for $15,000 a fight, that's not worth it. So, and crazy is that that was one of the better deals back then.
Wow.
When Dana White took over and started running it, I was already in WWE. And in 2002, I was starting to think, you know what, I'm going to go back to training MMA, and I'm going to go to UFC. Yeah. And in 2003, I broke my neck again.
Gosh,
and this time when I broke my neck, I lost all my strength in my arms.
Wow.
So when that occurred, I had an incident where I was supposed to wrestle these Tough Enough guys in the ring during a show, during Raw. And one of the guys, his name was Pewter, he got me in an arm bar, and I couldn't fight it off because my neck was so bad. So my arms were so weak because my circulation was getting cut off. Wow. Because of my broken neck. Yeah. So I knew I couldn't do it anymore. I knew that if I went to UFC, I would have gotten annihilated. So I decided I'd stick with pro wrestling. I'm glad I did, but you know, a little part of me says, man, if you would have, done UFC, I think you would have done pretty well. Yeah. But you know, it is what it is. I'm cool with it. I'm a big fan of UFC, Dana White, but I'm glad I did what I did. Yeah. Any favorites in UFC? The Poirier, I love that kid. Conor McGregor's great. You know, my favorite of all time is Anderson Silva. I just think he's so talented. Yeah. My favorites of all time are the 3 guys I love: Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, and Randy Couture. They used to battle each other back, 15, 20 years ago. It was so much fun to watch. And these guys today, they're so damn good. The girls. Yeah. So watching it now, it's like it's a different game now. These guys are they're bringing their A game, and it's I remember when UFC first started. You had a street fighter facing a wrestler, and you had a karate guy facing judo. And now everybody knows everything, and it's. You better know everything. Yeah, you're right. So awesome. And now I want to go back to WWE. Of course, WWE WrestleMania 36 against Baron Corbin signified your last match as a WWE superstar. But could you just kind of tell us your collective thoughts on the match against Corbin at WrestleMania 36 in hindsight? And will we see maybe one more match in the WWE from the Olympic hero? You will not see me wrestle again. But I was glad I wrestled Baron Corbin. The thing is, a lot of fans were upset because they wanted me to have like a WrestleMania moment, like against Shawn Michaels or John Cena.
Right.
And I would have had that if I made that choice. But the choice I made is I went to Vince McMahon 2 months before WrestleMania.
Right.
And I told him that I wanted to retire.
Right.
And he said, I thought you were going to go a whole nother year and you would retire the following year. And I said, no, I think I got to do it this year, because when I sat out and I was general manager for a year and a half,
yeah,
my body got real arthritic. When you're not active in the ring,
yeah,
you started to lose it. And you, especially at my age, 50, 51, my knees started hurting. My neck started hurting. I started cramping up and I couldn't turn my head anymore. And it was a lot of scar tissue was building up.
right.
And you could see it in the ring. And every time I watched myself wrestle, I was like, oh my God, I look like an old man. So I told Vince I wanted to retire and that I wanted to wrestle John Cena, because John and I was his first match. And,
right.
And that's how he started out. And the match was incredible. He did an amazing job. And that's what started his career, you know, wrestling Kurt Angle. And, you know, he almost beat me, and that was like a big deal. And, you know, he just skyrocketed.
Yeah. The rest is history, like they like to say.
So I told Vince I wanted to wrestle John Cena. He said, no. Yeah. And Vince said, no, I had you wrestling Corbin. You know you were supposed to wrestle Baron this year. I'll give you John Cena next year. And I said, I can't wait till next year. I said, can I have John this year? And he said, no. And I said, okay, I'll wrestle Baron. Baron's a great superstar. He's a great heel, great bad guy.
Yeah.
And we had a great match. It wasn't long. I think Vince just wanted to give me 10 minutes and let me, you know, bow out and say goodbye. It wasn't the greatest way to retire, but, you know, at least Vince gave me a match. And, you know, when you wrestle WrestleMania, it's a big deal. So, you know, I think that could have been, you know, somebody else that was more formidable at the time. Yes. But, you know, Baron Corbin now, he's up there. He's doing really well. So that my match with him actually helped his career as well. So I'm happy for him.
That's so awesome. I love that, obviously. It's so great to see that you're so very excited for him. And we're excited for all the great things he's doing. And one more question from the fans. He wants to ask you about your match against Shane at the No Way Out.
Well, it was that King of the Ring, but that's okay. We can call it No Way Out. Shane is crazy. We had this match where it was a street fight, and there weren't any rules, so we used the whole arena. We went everywhere. We went to the crowd. We went, you know, to the stage. I actually threw him through the plexiglass on the stage. I actually belly suplexed him. And the first couple he hit and he landed on his head. The glass didn't break. And what happened was it was sugar glass, and they were afraid that when the pyro went off, it would explode and break up when the show started. So they painted over with a sealer. And the sealer was so strong, I couldn't get Shane through it. So I tried twice. Shane landed on his head. And I was like, let's move on. He said, no, throw my ass through it. I was like, oh, my God. His dad's going to kill me. This is going to kill me. So I throw him through it, and he goes through the third time. Yeah. And then he says, throw me out the other one. And I was like, oh, my God. So I picked him up. I tried to throw him. He bounced off of it again. Yeah. So I said, forget this. I grabbed him by the head, and I threw him head first through it. And I mean, he was bleeding everywhere. It was. Jeez, oh my gosh. But he went through the glass. That's all that was important to me. Yeah, right. That was what we wanted, right? The match. It was the craziest match I've ever been in. We both ended up in the hospital. I broke my tailbone, and Shane had a concussion, and he had to get a number of stitches in his face, his arms. Yeah, it was bad. Wow. Oh, my gosh. Well, look, we're going to move on to better memories for you, Kurt. Let's talk a little football. On the topic of the NFL, can you talk about your beloved Pittsburgh Steelers and what it meant for you to have a tryout with that very team? All I heard was about Pittsburgh. My team,
can you talk about your Pittsburgh Steelers? Talk about, you know, your love for them, what you see going forward for this season, and talk about that tryout you had with that team.
Oh, the tryout. Okay. Well, the Steelers are my favorite team. They're my favorite sports team over anybody. Even the Penguins and Pirates. I was a football player in high school. I was all state. I had to choose between wrestling and football in college, and I chose wrestling. But football was the funnest sport for me. And I'm a big Ben Roethlisberger fan. So I've been following Pittsburgh, and I would say the franchise has done an incredible job the last 60 years. They've been one of the best programs out of anybody. I mean, them and the New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys, I'd say the top three most successful teams.
Yeah.
So, we take a lot of pride in our Pittsburgh Steelers. And in 1994, I wasn't having a lot of success in wrestling, and I quit wrestling just for a few months.
Right.
And the Steelers invited me for a tryout. So Bill Cowher came and met with me, and I had the tryout. I did really well, but my 40 speed wasn't that fast. I think I was a 4.75, which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I caught every pass. I did the shuttle run. I did everything really well. And the problem was it was at a skill position. Yeah. Skill position means the backfield or defensive backs where you're not linemen. And not to say the linemen aren't skilled. They're very skilled. Right. But the skill positions are quarterback, fullback, halfback, cornerback, safety, linebacker. So I tried out as a fullback, and they told me that, if they did want to bring me on, I would. At the time, they had NFL Europe. And there was no way I was going to go over to. Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, so, they passed on me, and I totally understood. I didn't even think I'd have a chance, especially not playing in college. But just to have the invite and to go there and have the experience, it was a lot of fun for me. But it also, I kicked myself in the butt and said, okay, you got to get back to wrestling now, because you're gonna regret quitting and giving up, and someday you're gonna say, why didn't I follow through, at least till 1996. Yeah. So that tryout actually woke me up and got me back into wrestling.
Nice. So thank you, Pittsburgh Steelers.
I didn't make the team. I'm glad I didn't make the team.
Yes,
because
you would have not gotten that.
If I would have played football, I would have been a decent player. I wasn't going to be, a Tom Brady or an Ezekiel Elliott or, Barry Sanders. Yeah. I was going to be a good player, not a great player. Probably would have played 4 seasons, got my pension. Nothing wrong with that. That would be awesome. It'd be a dream come true. But I would rather win a gold medal in the Olympics than be a pro football player.
I like it. That's my opinion. Are they going to bring you home a Lombardi trophy anytime soon, Kurt?
Lombardi trophy. I hope this year they have a chance. I think they have a great team. Ben's back. Everybody's excited about that. So, when you have your top quarterback and he's been playing there for 17 years, and he's still kicking hard. Yeah, I think he'll be able to go in the next 2 or 3 years. So, the Steelers and everybody in the city is real excited about this year. Nice. And Tom Brady not being in New England anymore, that's actually a good thing too.
But what about Lamar Jackson in Baltimore? Not scared at all, Kurt?
Lamar Jackson, he makes me nervous. That guy is a super athlete. I've never seen anyone like him. The only person I can compare to him, and I think he is better, only because he spent a lot more years, is Michael Vick. Lamar Jackson reminds me a lot of Michael Vick. So does Deshaun Watson. Another great one is Patrick Mahomes. These
that
guys,
contract.
Man, yeah, how about that contract? $500 million.
Money.
But you know what? If the team is making that kind of money and they can afford to pay him, he deserves it. Yeah. He's the reason. Let's face it. He's the best quarterback in the league right now. Yeah. And at least he's the hottest. And what he did for that team this past year, he deserves the money.
Yeah, look, and he got it. And he got it. I appreciate that. And actually, while we're talking about the Steelers, in your estimation, who is your favorite Pittsburgh Steelers player of all time and why? I'll give you a fun one.
That's tough. I grew up watching Mean Joe Green and Jack Lambert, Jack Ham, Don Michelle, Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, Rocky Bleier. Lynn Swan, John Stallworth, I could name them all. You know, you go up to today and, you know, the players that they have now. You know, I loved Le'Veon Bell, but he left.
Yeah,
he was
unfortunately.
He was an amazing player, real elusive, and he's a guy that I don't know how he got all those yards. He didn't look that fast on camera, but I heard on the field, he just like, he's impossible to see. So he's really slick with his leg work. But you know, there are a lot of other players that I enjoy watching, but the Steelers of the 70s is my first love. Those guys
can't go wrong.
They were able to do 4 Super Bowls in 9 years. That's unbelievable. So
it's unfair. But thank you for dwelling and touching on that. And then
I love my Steelers today, yesterday. Historically.
I guess I wore a little close for you, I guess, with my yellow. It's not the same, right, as that gold, but I'll take it. And just staying on Pittsburgh, one of the friends of the show, Brian H. Rodgers of the Wrestling Realm, he wanted to ask you, speaking of Pittsburgh, what did it mean for you to beat The Rock for your first WWE title? Was The Rock vocal about putting the title on him?
Well, when I wrestled Dwayne, like I said before, I was still learning.
Yeah.
Dwayne took me under his wing that night, and he carried me through that match. And it was an excellent match. It was a 5-star match. We had a really good match, but I was still learning and I was following, and he was showing me what to do. And I think WWE was a little premature with me. I think it was because I impressed everyone so much with my promo skills and my in-ring ability that Vince McMahon felt that it was now time to put the title on me.
Yeah.
So Dwayne helped me dramatically, and we had an excellent match, and we were going to have a feud for the next 5 months. And Dwayne ended up beating me before WrestleMania to win back the title. So I did the favor back to him, which was kind of cool. But, I really learned a lot from him. He is without a doubt one of the best athletes.
Yeah.
When you talk about speed, quickness, agility, charisma, just the way he moves in the ring, and he's a big dude. He's 6'5", 280 pounds. He's very elusive and he's very quick. And it was a lot of fun working with him because when you did something to him, he sold it really well. If you punch him in the face, he would grab his face, and he was really good at that. He really was really good at getting the fans behind him.
Yeah.
And I think he mastered it better than anyone. And I learned a lot from him. I was very grateful to have the matches I did. And then obviously, he didn't wrestle that much longer. He went to Hollywood and just boom, he was one of the top paid Hollywood superstars. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for touching on that. And then also from Brian, he wants to also ask, what did it mean for you to win the WWE title in your hometown of Pittsburgh?
That was my second one, and I wasn't supposed to. I actually came up with the idea myself because I was having a really good program with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and 9/11 just occurred, and I was the American hero. I was the good guy. Austin was the bad guy at the time. And I was wearing the red, white, and blue, and I went to Vince about 5 days before the pay-per-view, and I said, "Hey, Vince, what do you think me win the title just to help America? Get the people behind me, and I win." It's not that I needed the title; I just felt it was a good, feel-good moment for all the fans to watch. And he said, "Ask Austin," so I had to call.
I love it.
And he didn't hesitate. He said, "I'll drop it to you." That's a great idea. So it was really cool, and it was in my hometown, and everybody rushed in the ring and jumped in. They almost broke the ring. Yeah, there was about 50 people in the ring, and they're holding me in the air. We're all celebrating in Pittsburgh. It was a lot of fun. It was one of the best moments of my life.
That's so awesome.
The Olympics, those two. Besides having my kids,
of course, we got
one of the best moments of my life.
I love it. Thank you so much for touching on that. And then also more recent news, The Undertaker most recently officially announced retirement from the WWE. So with that being said, what message do you have for Mark, the man, of course, with regards to his character, his leadership, his selfishness, and anything else, his contribution?
He's going to go. He's going to go through a little depression. It's hard. It's hard giving it up. Undertaker's been debating this for 4 or 5 years. So he had an incredible match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And I don't know if he took my advice, but he had a match about 8 or 9 months ago against Bill Goldberg. And they're both big guys. They're both great in the ring, but they're both really big and they're both in their 50s. And I just didn't think it was a good idea to match 2 50-year-olds and, with the size they have. And so, the match didn't go so well. And Taker was pretty upset about it because when he wrestles, he usually has the best matches. So he's that good.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, Undertaker, why don't you, WrestleMania this year, why don't you grab AJ? Because AJ Styles is real easy to work with. He does all the flying. All you do is catch him, and, he's always running around. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is stand in the middle.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, you have a match with AJ, it will be off the charts. And I don't know if he took my advice or not, but he ended up wrestling AJ at WrestleMania. And if he does retire, that was a great match to retire on. Now, I don't know if he will. I think he might get the itch next year or the year after. I don't know if he's really serious about it. But I know that I debated it for about 6 months when I retired. Yeah. But I'm my mind's set in stone. I'm not gonna wrestle anymore.
No more Kurt.
Undertaker. No more Kurt Angle. You know what the problem is? I work way too hard, and I can't do it anymore. I can't do it at that level. Yeah. If I can't do it at that level, I don't want to do it at all. But Undertaker, he might go again. I wouldn't doubt if he does, but I wouldn't doubt if he doesn't. So we'll see what happens.
That's good. I love that. And like you said, only time will tell. So we'll have to keep watching. And lastly, because I know I've been taking up a lot of your time, it's been a fun interview. What current WWE superstar do you feel has, let's say, the most potential to reach out and grab the brass ring in 2021 and ultimately become a top draw for the company based on what you've witnessed firsthand?
Well, you have your Roman Reigns and you have your Seth Rollins and AJ Styles and you have guys that haven't had their opportunities that they deserve, like a Nakamura or a Cesaro. There are a lot of great ones right now. But I would say right now, a guy named Aleister Black. He has a very different look and a very different style. He's very combative and physical.
Right.
And I like it. Another guy is Andrade. He's a wrestler from Mexico. He's really what the guy does. I think he has a lot of ability. And lastly, who was the last guy I was going to throw in there? Matt Riddle. I refereed his match 2 months ago at NXT. He is now on SmackDown. The kid's incredible. He wrestles in his bare feet. He was a former UFC fighter.
Yep.
He's going to have a great career. And he has this whole hippie California Beach Boy bro gimmick going.
Yeah.
People love it. So I think he's going to have a really good year. And I think that he might end up main event WrestleMania in a year or two.
Nice. Oh, that's exciting. We have a lot to look forward to. Kurt, this has been such a pleasure interviewing you. I hope you're not a stranger to the show. And before I let you go, please, any last words for the listening audience?
Well, I just want to tell everybody, don't forget my Q&A tomorrow. It'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to Physically Fit Nutrition Instagram, follow it, and I will see the guys tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Perfect. Kurt, thank you so much for joining again. Please don't be a stranger to the show. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Kelsey. I had fun.
Thanks so much. Have a great one. Bye. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining this live stream edition of Listen In with KNN, presented by Fox Sports Radio. I'm, of course, your host, Kelsey Nicole Nelson. We'll be back this weekend with Lisa Marie Barron. It's going to be a great one. We're continuing our WWE love. Lots of great things happening. So, again, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right back here, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Periscope. And, of course, also check out the audio edition of this very show on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. Lots of great stuff with Lakeisha Sutton, one of the first female Harlem Globetrotters. So definitely check that out. Again, I'm Kelsey Nicole Nelson. Until Saturday, please leave comments, review it. And also tell us who you want on the show. This is a show for you all. This is a show for the people. So we want to make sure that we bring who you all want to watch. And thank you again, as always, for watching. Thanks to my team. I could not do it without you. Dean, Onyx, Mike, Quentin. Thank you. And everyone else that just helps support the show. I truly, truly do appreciate it. All right, guys, have a great week. And I'll see you guys back on Saturday. Bye, guys.
Follow Kelsey on social media at The Real K Nelson. And catch each broadcast of Listen In with KNN on air at AM 1340 and 96.9 FM Fox Sports Radio on YouTube, on Facebook and Twitter, and online at KelseyNicoleNelson.com. Thank you for watching this special live stream broadcast of Listen In with KNN.
You used to hear me on your airwaves or hear me on my hit podcast, but now I'm taking you to the screen. You'll love Elevator Thoughts. We will talk the latest trending in sports. It's game time. What better way to get to know those that visit the show than over some good food and drink? It's time for confessions.